Hey everyone, welcome back to Rogue 16. We are doing an unboxing today. We don't get to do a whole lot of these, but every now and then we get something in and we get to kind of enjoy the unboxing experience. This is gonna be a fun one because this is the Lowland Props Akbar Rank Admiral Akbar Rank Badge, and yeah, Jason got this in. Thanks to Lowland for kind of shipping this quick to. So Jason, you bought this piece and they shipped it pretty fast to you, right?
Yeah, seeing as how we've been doing the unboxings and, it's
Yeah.
been kind of a consistent thing. It just made sense to try to have it in hand beforehand, kind of give a first look, if you
Yeah.
will.
Yeah. That's cool.
And it's great. They post some amazing pictures on the website, right? Everything's highly detailed.
Hmm.
Everything's, really well documented with the photography. But it's just good to get a physical tactile feel in hand, go through
Yeah,
the unboxing process,
for
especially
sure.
right before it's about to go live, which it's about to do within the next 24 hours. And yeah, so we're just gonna take a few minutes, not too long. We're gonna pop it open, take a closer look,
Yeah.
and go from there.
And Jason's got this this top down view just to kind of give you a better feel and look for it. So that's why he's not on camera currently.
Yep.
Um,
So
yeah.
to start off, get the box with the Lowlands logo on it.
Yep.
Address was removed for obvious reasons. So yeah, we'll go from there. Just gonna
I like
turn
that.
this
I
quick.
like that logo.
Yeah, I do. I do too. I actually the last box I had, it was like on there nice and clean. I took the sticker off and I have it on the back of my laptop.
Well, they need to send stickers out with this shit, dude.
They should. Yeah, if you guys, I'm sure they'll be watching this. If you do, throw a sticker in.
Throw some stickers in. That'd be
We
awesome.
enjoy the stickers. I actually have it on the back end of my laptop next to it's
I
an
mean,
RS.
people shouldn't have to peel these damn things off the box and put them on their
Yeah.
laptops.
So we
That'd
get
be cool.
the COA,
Yeah, that's cool.
always done well, and then you get the
Yep.
Lowland Prop sticker there. Put the box to the side for a second. So the COA, get the little sticker, which
Are
I
these
like.
numbered? Are these numbered?
They are, yep. So
Okay.
we get the certificate. I'm just gonna bear with me, guys, as I adjust.
Nice. Number 7. Sweet.
Number 7. So it just gives you a nice little breakdown, gives you a background, certifies that you're the owner of an authentic artwork made by Lowland Props. The Admiral Akbar Rank Badge replica was created with all original industrial donor parts and model kit donors, which that whole kit bashing aspect of taking the original parts, and they're basically, what we're used to seeing with these prop replicas is, oh, 3D scanned from,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Cast from. What's great about this is these are being made the same way they were being made during production. The
Right.
guys were slapping things together. They were picking parts out of the boxes for, whether it was, you know, Plastruct or, model kits, real world found parts and throwing it together. And Lowland is literally recreating that process
Yeah.
when bringing us these props. And they've done so every step of the way from the first release. Now we're on release number 5.
Right.
With that being said, it says pressure cast and high quality polyurethane resin, hand painted, which I love that, right? Because you're
Hmm.
getting that quality instead of the factory aspect. As if you haven't watched our spotlight yet, you can go back and see that, but we'll rehash it here. So we'll see as I pull the prop out with the paint, it's not perfect and precise because it's
Right.
not. That's what you want. You want it as it was on set, which was sort of, you know, just in with the imperfections in place.
Yeah. Yeah.
The set comes complete with magnetic black anodized Lowland Props aluminum display stand, which we all love. It's amazing
Hmm.
quality. A beige felt fabric patch mimicking Admiral Akbar's uniform. That has started to become one of my favorite parts about these props is the backing, the burlap with the Jedi comlink,
Yeah.
the material behind the general badge, Leia with her patch. I'm really liking that, and it's just such a great added touch. It says, as usual, we are grateful and proud you decided to add our premium Star Wars collectible to your collection. We hope you enjoy it as much as we have, as much as we enjoyed creating it. Admiral Akbar Rank Badge, painted resin, 2025, and it's an edition of 50 pieces. So we are on release number 5, and they are still doing an edition or run of only 50. So
Nice.
still pretty rare,
Yeah.
which is going to make them sought after. So this is kind of how it comes. They might not always be like this, but this one looks to be wrapped in a little bit of cellophane. There were a few of these on top of it, so it
Yeah.
wasn't sitting right on top. I just moved them around for the sake of noise, because then you have
Yeah.
it's a little annoying. But
Yeah.
I kind of like these little, versus like peanuts and stuff. So very well packed, which
Better
is
for
great.
the, I'm sure you can recycle all that shit, right?
Yeah,
Better
or
than
reuse
better
when
than packing peanuts.
when you're shipping stuff. They're always good to use. I
Yeah,
mean, I
reuse them.
always have all kits that I need to store. So,
Yeah, for sure.
so I'm assuming this has it's got like a sort of that stuff when you're moving, you make things tight. So the badge doesn't ship to get damaged. So I'm just gonna take a second to unwrap this.
A little cellophane
Little
wrap.
cellophane, little Dexter going on
Yeah, dude.
for Dexter fans out there. All right. Oh man, this is nice. Okay, it's in 2 parts. All right, guys, here it is. All right, let's take a look. All right, bear with me while I get it straightened out. So we got bring it up to the camera.
Nice.
Nice. That just feels so good, man. It's just got the
It's a nice
nice metal
display.
trim.
They always
Yeah.
do
So
such a
here's
good
an
job.
up close look at the prop itself. Look at the thumb wheel. Look at the sharp detail on that. Sorry, as my camera focuses, just bear with
Yeah,
me, guys.
it's good. We're getting it.
And even here, like if you look at the paint in this area,
Yeah.
you can just see how like imperfect it is. Now I'm gonna move it around a little bit. So again, as the camera adjusts, just bear with. Give you some up close looks at the paint.
That's cool. Yeah, the depth of it. And all
Yeah.
this stuff can move around, right? It's magnetic, so it all can be adjusted.
Yeah, so the way it works is you have this part here,
Mm-hmm.
which comes right off, and then here's the back side as usual.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then you got the second part. So I'm gonna put this down for a second. So I'm gonna look at some of the detail here.
Yeah. There it is.
Yeah, there we go. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look how crisp and clean those model part casts are, but at the same time, it still get all that, sloppy wonkiness that
Yeah.
comes with stitching.
What's the weight on these pieces? Are they pretty light?
They're not super light, but they're not heavy either.
Yeah.
Um,
I wouldn't think so.
you know, we always discuss weight being like synonymous with quality. It feels quality. It doesn't
Like,
feel.
are these resin? These are resin
Yeah,
caps?
they're
Yeah.
they're resin.
Yeah.
And they feel good. They actually feel good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna try. Sorry, my camera's trying to self-adjust, but there we go. Yeah, just see like the messiness
That's nice.
and see how like uneven it is, the way they were
Yep.
to the detail, even up in here. Look at that.
Yeah, it's a lot of detail. It's
Look
really
at that. Oh, it's fantastic. And
really nicely painted too.
yeah, the colors, the color like it's I mean, you have a number of different colors here, which
Mm-hmm.
may be hard to see on camera, but you really do. You have quite a few different shades.
Yeah, it's nice.
Um, the weathering is subtle, but yeah, I'm really liking this piece, man. This is a
Is there
really
just
nice.
one magnet in the back of that one, or is there two on that
This
one too?
one's
Oh,
got
there's two.
two,
Okay.
and this one's got two.
Yeah,
Yep,
they both have two.
they
Yeah.
both got two. Okay, we'll take a close look at this one. Yeah, see, look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, that's pretty. Is that like
Um,
that cylinder? Is that like a dark green? Is that what that color is?
that
Or
one is, yeah, it's kind of like almost like a grayish green, or
right?
yeah, it's kind of hard to tell because it's contrasting with the.
Yeah, yeah, it's
And
cool.
those I could be wrong, but from my modeling experience, I know what some of these parts are. I think these are Plastron pieces.
Yeah.
Plastron is a company that does a myriad of shapes and domes, and I mean they're on so many models like the TIE Bomber, the ATST, things like that. Um, so yeah, and then just as I was mentioning earlier, what I'm really starting to enjoy here is this material. It just
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
this feels premium, man. This feels good. I like this. This isn't some cheap piece of cloth that they just slapped on like this. You know, you could tell this probably kept Ackbar more
That's
when he
really
was
cool.
battling up
Yeah, I like
against.
that they do them all differently. They have different, like, backing for each of them that kinda goes with the piece. It's really cool.
And then, as usual, on the back, you have again
Yep.
the Lowland sticker. I mean, and this displays nicely like this.
Do you know
That's
what
the
they should do on the back there instead of a sticker? They should do, like, an engraved logo or, like,
like something laser.
yeah, some laser cut into it. That'd be sick. That'd be really
And
cool.
I just love the idea of like, here's the thing, right? The catch 22 is these display stands are beautifully done, not just with the patch of cloth, but this is just really high quality. It's
Yeah.
really, really well made. This is premium. At least I feel.
Yeah, it's nice.
Um, but if you wanted, I mean, you could display the piece, you know, just as just a loose prop, right?
Yeah, 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 sure.
Some people might, but then again,
Well,
you could always adjust this.
think about it like this too, at some point down the line when they have more of these things, you could also have the potential of putting all these rank badges next to each other on a magnetic piece of some other kind that you make, right?
Yeah, like you just and then
You
like
could
we were talking the other day on the spotlight, if you have like the communicators or the badges, you can have one, metal board with just these pieces, one metal board with those
mhm.
pieces. Yeah, so you do have a lot of options.
I mean,
But
you could also make a pretty sick, what are those called? Shadow box type of frame that you put on the
I
wall
didn't
that
even
with
think
all
of that.
with all these magnetized to it would be really sick too if you actually framed it.
And that would be so
Um,
easy because
yeah,
it is held on by magnets. You
yeah.
could easily make a shadow box display for some of these.
Yeah, it'd be really sick. I mean, like you'd have to figure out how to put the label of, the actual, like, what is it below it kind of a thing. I don't know, maybe you could take these apart and do that and take that little plaque out of the bottom and put it into a different frame, but, um, so that would be the only thing, but, like, yeah, these things would super easily just magnetize inside of something else if you wanted it to. That's why I'm
Yep.
saying, like, I don't think people should, like, pass up on these rank badges because 'cause they're super simple. I think at some point you could have a really cool rank badge display because if they do more of these, it's just a really cool opportunity to have a kind of a, a collection of these.
Yeah, what I noticed here as I was looking at the camera, even though you have similarities in these pieces here, right? You have this is one color, you have
Yep.
these as the grayish blue, this is the greenish sort of
Yeah.
gray.
Yeah, you can
So
see it better now.
yeah, so it sort of breaks up, you know, using similar pieces on one particular piece. I'm
Yeah, it's
really
really
impressed by this thumbnail piece. I want to try to get it like, let me see. Yeah, look at that. Look how clean and crisp that is. Sorry, I know this for anybody watching, this might be a little tricky, but
yeah, it's just hard to get your camera to focus on what you want it to.
yeah, I don't want to move it too fast. But this area here is just there we go. Yeah. It seems when I kind of run over it, it adjusts a little bit, but
Yeah, it's looking for that skin tone, bro. It's looking for your skin to be
really?
able to focus on your skin.
You think so?
Yeah, your
Oh, I
hands.
do get it. Yeah, look, yeah, you see how, if I can just keep my hand there for a second.
It's your
But yeah,
camera's
I gotta
looking
say,
for
man,
a
this
face.
is fantastic piece, beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, it's got a lot of great pieces on it. The whole breakdown. So I think we have an image we can pop
We do,
up in a
yeah.
second that gives you a breakdown of so what Lowland Props does, and I really like this, right? Because one thing I always share with people who are new to collecting props, anything that's like found parts, production, lineage, and we talk about lineage a lot on the shows, is that what's interesting when you start acquiring these pieces is the appreciation you develop. And the reason why you develop that appreciation is because you start to learn a little bit more about the who, the what, the when, the where, the why, right? The how it was made. And it's like, oh wow. So this is, a real world found part. This is a model kit piece. This is a Tamiya, it's whatever it may be, right? So you have all these pieces kit bashed to make something that looks like an actual, general badge,
Yeah.
right? We don't it's in world. And then you start to really appreciate like, wow, look what these guys from a prop perspective were able to accomplish and make things look so believable
Right.
and so realistic. Um, and they did so with some of the most arbitrary things, some of the most obscure pieces and parts, sometimes just on the fly, right?
Yep.
And it wasn't, as we talked about on the spotlight, it wasn't like they sat there and, oh, let me make sure this is perfectly lined up with this, and let me,
Right.
this is uneven, this is glued together, that's slapped together, and and that's how it was done.
Mhm.
You're right. That's how it was done. And the fact that we got such a faithful recreation of that, like you even see
Well,
some of like
it's Jason, it's also interesting that, like, some we think about it now, we're like, "Man, how'd they come up with this shit?" But at the same time, there were no rules. Like
yes, that's
like,
important.
the cool thing is they were working on something pretty brand new. It's in a sense, I mean, Return of the Jedi wasn't, like, new, but that
No, but
said,
they were still kind of making things up as they
they were
went
still
along.
making things up throughout the trilogy, right? So, like, making a rank badge, it's like, it can be whatever they want it to be. Like,
Literally, it could.
it
It could
it's just
be
like
whatever you want it to be.
whatever you want it to be, like, just use your imagination, put it together, it just needs to be on the side or the chest or whatever, and so, um, yeah, it's just, I mean, that's why it does feel slapped together, because some of these guys were just like, "Yeah, let me put this on it, let me put this on it, let's try this," like, that's a lot of freedom they had to make some stuff up, though, which is really cool. I think you make stuff now for movies like Star Wars, you have to, in order to make it feel Star Wars, you have to follow kind of some of the similar things that they did back then, right? You can't just, like,
Yes.
do your
You
own
can't
shit.
just go slapstick. It has to have
Right,
some continuity, which is
right.
why I think there's a lot of digital scans of these pieces, just like with the sounds, right? Ben Burt had, put all those sounds into a sound
Yeah,
library.
sure.
So you can have something similar with the model
Yep,
parts.
yep,
Now, what's great is, as we talked about before, and we'll mention again, like this piece here, if you remove this and this, was just recast, not remade, but recast and used on the Biker Scouts, right? Just painted black. I believe this whole part was used on Bausch, or possibly this part. We'll have
okay.
to, go over that. But again, they've even recreated, sort of the imperfections here, the little,
Yep,
sort of clay buildup and paint buildup. Like you're getting like a 100% verbatim, faithful recreation of what you see on screen.
yeah, that's
And
really cool.
the great part is when you're doing your research too, we pulled up a few pictures last time, is that you don't even see Akbar's badge that clearly.
Yeah,
So the research and development that Lowland goes into making sure that these are faithfully recreated accurately, and they're not taking artistic liberty like you see sometimes, right? That does
right,
happen. That does happen from time to time in the replica world, where people do take some creative and artistic liberties because you have to. I think they're very careful at curating what pieces they want to release and
right.
why. And what I like about this, and I don't necessarily want to call it simple, because believe it or not, there's a lot that goes into a piece like this. And we don't have to go through the whole backstory of it,
No,
but simple in the sense, like when you look at the Jedi comlink or you look at the Hoth Leia piece, those are a little bit more robust, right? Those pieces were definitely a little bit more robust. So when we say simple, we mean more simple in the sense of it's not as robust of a piece. However, I want to sort of be careful using the word simple, because there's a lot of complexity here, and there's a lot of research that went into
sure.
this,
Yeah, of course.
even down to the thickness of something
Right.
like this. You know,
Well, yeah, I mean, look, people shouldn't take our talking about these as, like, a not complex piece, as, like, it not taking the same level of research or the same level of, you know, imaging and, 3D,
the due
all
diligence.
that
Yeah,
yeah, it's, I mean, they're still putting in all the time and effort to make these things. So, yeah, I mean, it takes time, it takes a lot of research to do all this stuff. So, yeah, for sure. Um, it just feels, the piece feels like a smaller piece. That's just the way it's gonna feel, right?
it does. And I like that there's no reason to sort of top themselves with every release.
Yeah,
I think it's great that it's like, oh well, we came up with this piece. Like, how are
yeah,
we going to top it now? Oh,
right.
we've done this. Now let's top the next one. Like because you can't do that. So if
No,
you
and not, and, some pieces are gonna be more desirable for some people versus other pieces, right? Some people
yeah,
would want this more than they would want the Leia communicator thing, right? So,
correct.
um, it just depends on who you are and what you want, So I don't think there is a better or more exciting necessarily piece. It's more so kind of what you prefer and what you wanna collect, so,
You can even see on their hair. Look at the detail on there
yeah, that's cool. Like, there's stuff
from the
underneath it,
original
yeah.
from the original parts used.
Yeah, that's cool.
You can see the build up where the two pieces match.
Let's show them that. Let's show them that exploded view, Jason. And you can kind of talk through it a
Yeah,
little.
let's go with the exploded view.
So this is something they put out, I think, today, um,
Yes.
which is kind of
And I
being
love this because they've done this with every
mhm,
prop so far.
right. Yeah.
And again, this goes back to the appreciation of what you're purchasing and learning about the why and the how.
Right.
So you have the dark green would give you the original kit part, which means they acquired they pulled these from whatever model or, part that
Yep.
it came from. Then you have the original industrial part donor, which that would be like a real world part, something that
Hmm.
came from a machine, a clock, camera, etc. And then this one you have Plastruck hubby model part, which that's like those are things like T tracks, H beams,
Yeah.
styrene sheets. That's what those are.
And when you say these things, Jason, you're talking about them taking these parts and recasting all of them, correct?
Yes, so they're digging through the kits that
Right.
these originated from, and they're doing a direct casting of that, and then
Yeah.
rebuilding and recreating the prop as it was done
Right.
on while they were working on it on set. And these little maps can apply. You can, I think you can go back on the website and go back to the first four releases and still get the
Mm.
breakdown of what's what, and they'll
Of
tell
the
you,
other.
okay, this is what was taken from here. This was taken from there, etc. Which
Right.
I think is just a great explanation, a great breakdown, great understanding.
Yeah.
Because also when it's pieced together, now we don't have to zoom in on me again, but just I'll point here. When it's pieced together, you see it as this.
Yeah.
So getting the exploded view also shows you, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, it shows you exactly all
Hmm.
the, sort of pieces aggregated together to equal this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I gotta
Well,
say
and again,
there,
that the level of research it takes to kind of understand where each piece comes from, how to make them accurately feel the way they need to feel, right? I mean, even seeing if you watch our product spotlight, you'll see the first version that they made where it's a lot cleaner, and then the final version where they kind of roughed it up and made it to look like it actually looks in the in the
yeah,
in the
it was
movie.
almost too clean, the first one.
Right. So they kind
Mm.
of go that extra mile, that extra step, and make it even more accurate than you might find, someone else making it. So, yeah, really cool. Really cool.
Yeah, I think with all that said, I think these guys are on a roll. I think it's they're on a hot streak.
Yeah.
I think as these continue, they're just going to continue to be sought after. They display beautifully together or as standalone pieces. If you're new to Lowland Props and this is going to be a first piece, I
Mhm.
highly recommend it. It
Yeah.
releases tomorrow for those watching, today.
Yeah, do you we're not going to give you the time because you can find the time on Lowland Props Facebook.
Yeah, visit the website. Visit if you're on
Yeah.
Facebook, you can visit the Facebook page. They have
Yeah.
an Instagram.
I'm going to give
Definitely
that
check
a
out their
watch.
socials, and I think it's worth following them because there's a lot of info
Yeah.
that they share as
And while
well.
you're there, check out the giveaway they're doing as well. Um, I think on the spotlight we got it a little bit wrong. There's a little bit more to it, so to
Yeah,
check that out, just to make sure that's correct. And there's a lot. Yeah, they're doing a lot of cool stuff. So
and they do like if like and they're Lowland Props on Facebook. They're Lowland Props on Instagram. They're not hard to find. All
right,
you have to do is look for the little green
yeah, and it'll go
Black
fast.
Frog sticker.
This thing's gonna go.
Yeah, I think these are going to go pretty fast. It's just a interesting piece. And again, what we said before is they're very affordable
They are.
for the level of quality that you're getting. I
They are.
mean,
Yeah.
these are very affordable pieces.
Yeah.
Less than 300 all in, and that's shipped. That's after shipping, and for those of us in the
Right.
U.S. at the conversion as well.
Yep.
So yeah, all their socials have a lot of great info, details, and updates, which you can follow. The website's got a lot of great info. So
Yep.
yeah, we don't want to give the time just because there's, like even just me and you talking, we're 3 hours apart. So what it releases for me versus you, we're going to be 3 hour difference. So yeah, well, I mean, I think with that being said, another thank you to Lolan and for getting this in hand for us for giving us a first look. Anybody that's interested, definitely, get ready tomorrow. Just be on your toes. You know, last time, the last two times, pieces sold out quite quickly, and just be ready. Just be patient.
Mhm.
You know, and yeah, good luck to anybody that's going for one. And I think yeah, you definitely won't be disappointed. This is beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, and like you said, thanks to Lowland for sending this over, and um, Jason for
This
you
piece is great,
actually
man. This is
picking this piece up.
Ackbar.
Picking
Yeah,
this piece up. That's really cool. Yeah, I think guys, I think that's going to be it for us. We're hoping, that next time they come out with something, we'll probably do another spotlight, hopefully another unboxing as well. We're really pumped about what they're doing over there. So, any help we can do to get the word out is great. Um, for just for go give them some love, go like their Facebook page. I think they're doing some new video stuff too. Go check that out.
yeah,
um
they get a new video up.
so yeah, just go give them some love, and hopefully you can, if you're looking for this, you can pick it up. Just make sure you're quick. So
Yeah,
all right guys, thank you, that's gonna be it. Appreciate it.
yeah. Thank you. We'll
Bye.
see you guys soon.